think my nail just fell off. Fuck, it hurts. This one's called Orange too. So far.
Show, the Frankfort Report, coming to you live on February 10th for some goddamn reason. Like I have time to do this show. But anyways, here we are, and there's lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff going on in the world today. I don't know what it has to do with real estate, but there's a lot of stuff going on out there. I don't know if you happened to watch the Super Bowl yesterday. Did you watch the Super Bowl yesterday? Anybody out there today? Do we have anybody out there today? If we do, thank you for being here. If we don't, thank you for not being here. I appreciate it. If you are here, hit the like button. Say something in the chat. Say hello, Darryl. How are you? Is my mic working? Can you hear me? I see Jeff here. Bring it. I am broughting it. It is broughten. Consider it bringed. Can you hear me? I'm assuming you can hear me. How are you today? Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you waste your fucking time? I feel bad for the people that put on parties for the Super Bowl because that kind of sucks, right? Good evening, Charlotte. New Tio Condos. Buongiorno. Hello. Buongiorno. Welcome, everybody, to the show. And if you were one of the poor souls that put on a Super Bowl party last night or yesterday, well, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't waste too much money on that pathetic, boring, useless game. Now, if you're like me, you don't even like football. You're just watching it because it's like something to do, and there's really not much to do these days. You lost 4 hours of your life for that. Well, join the club. Although I really didn't pay too much attention to it because it kind of sucked. And the game wasn't even good, so there wasn't even a point watching the game. And, yeah, I wasn't invited to any parties because everybody knows that I do not like football. So, anyways, if you're like me and you don't like football and you're a little bit nutty and you were watching the Super Bowl because you knew some weird, satanic, or crazy, weird shit was going to happen at the halftime show, or maybe, you know, the person sitting beside Taylor Swift was going to give some Illuminati signals to somebody who's paying attention to that. I don't know. But the guys I watch on TikTok told me that some weird shit was going to go down, and I was there for that. And, well, it was I didn't notice the stuff. I mean, I had to go and watch it on TikTok after, and we're gonna check this stuff out together. But okay, so we had a horrible game. Nobody enjoyed it. It was not fun. But before we get to anything, what we have to do, friends, and I'm sorry if you don't enjoy the prayers, but we have family prayers to do every time we get together. This is no exception, right? I hope you're okay with this. Let's get our daily dose of tushy rubbing and prayer.
Because you keep raising the fucking bar.
Hold on a sec. I fucked that up. What else is new? I really need a Jamie of
Maybe
my
you don't
own.
realize how good you're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar. Maybe you don't realize how good you're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar. Okay, killer?
Okay, killer.
Nice work.
Nice work. Gotta hear this every day.
Maybe you don't realize how good you're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar. Okay, killer?
Okay, killer.
Nice work.
Nice work. You see, if you're like me, okay,
Maybe
which
you don't
I don't know if you are, but if you're like me, I don't know why this morning I woke up and I was like all fucked up. I was all anxious, right? I was all anxious. Like I wasn't getting enough work done. And I woke up in a sweat thinking, I gotta get more work done right now. And so sometimes I need to just remind myself, right? Give myself a little tushy rub and remind myself that I'm a killer and I got this, and to stop moving the bar, bro. Stop moving the bar. I'm moving it on myself. And then just in case, okay, just in case I needed a little bit more, just a little bit more, okay, a little bit more of a good feeling about myself, I got to watch this video, okay? And because I have to, it technically means that you have to. And I'm sorry if you don't like this, but this gives you some perspective on things, I think.
Do crackheads say, I can't get high today because I'm broke? No, they make it happen. Don't let a crackhead hustle harder than you.
Okay? Like, first of all, it's funny as hell. But second of all, it's true, right? It's really true. Like, the crackheads figure out a way to get enough money to get more crack, okay? And sometimes that means maybe not getting enough money for food and crack, but mission accomplished, right? They're hustlers. If you want to learn hustling, you may want to hit the streets. And let's just remind ourselves one last time.
Do crackheads say, I can't get high today because I'm broke? No, they make it happen. Don't let a crackhead hustle harder than you.
Crackhead hustle harder than you. Friends, this is why we're here, right? This is why we're here. For those daily reminders to remind ourselves that we can do better than the crackheads and that we shouldn't move the bar on ourselves. These are important messages. I'm sure you know. Now, I thought of something that I thought might be cool. I don't know if it is cool. I don't know if anybody's into this idea. Is there anybody here today? Do we have anybody here in the chat? Is anything happening? Can I get some likes? Maybe some subscriptions? Can I get a hells yeah in the chat? More importantly, does anybody want to call in on WhatsApp and talk to me? Because if you do, that would be cool. I'd love to have a call-in segment of the show. You don't have to show your face. You just have to be willing to say hello, maybe ask a question, and be on the call. So if you're willing to do that, let me know. I'll put my phone number somehow into the chat, or I'll just tell it to you because I don't care. It's out there anyways. But that would be friggin' funny. Already hit the button and like. Thank you, Charlotte. I'll call in. Jeff will call in. All right, let's go. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat, and you're going to have to WhatsApp me because I'm not so great with the technology. But if you WhatsApp me, I will answer it. There you go. Call in. It's in the chat. Let's see how that works. Do you have my WhatsApp ready? I do. Okay, so anyways, until that happens, and maybe I won't answer right away because we got stuff to talk about, right? We had a crazy Super Bowl. Here, Jeff, you call in whenever you're ready. We can talk about whatever you want. But I want to talk about the Super Bowl, okay? Because it is a big deal for some fucking reason. And I think if you don't really bet on football, then, like, what's the point of football? unless you're there for all of the satanic imagery, then I suppose there's, a serious point to football because there's some fucked up shit going on that broadcast. That's for damn sure. And I didn't notice it myself instantly, right? If you want to call, it's in there, guys. It's in there. It's right in there in the chat. Don't you see it? Did it not show up? Oh, it doesn't show up. It doesn't let you put phone numbers. How do I do this? All right, ready? You got a pen? Are you guys ready? Do you have a pen? I'm going to tell you my phone number live on the air. Let's not get crazy, everybody, okay? Spell it out. Ready? I don't know what the letters are, but it's 416, all right? 416-818-8143. There you go. Hopefully you got that. If you want to call in, I can't answer everybody simultaneously because I think WhatsApp is only one at a time. But anyways, okay, Super Bowl. Ready? The Super Bowl was a little bit crazy. And why was it crazy? Well, did you see everybody's favorite transgender singer? Did you see what happened to, hold on a sec. It's a trans woman, I think is the way that you're supposed to say it. Everybody's favorite trans woman, Taylor Swift, gets booed at the Super Bowl. That's alleged. Okay, that's alleged that she is trans. Alleged. But you want to go down a rabbit hole? Go check out the Taylor Swift trans stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there saying that she is in fact a man. And this might actually carry into something we talk about later in the show. But look at our new president of the planet, Donald Trump. The only one that had a tougher night than the Kansas City Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving, right? Do you remember what she did with the whole MAGA crew? What's happening? Everybody normally loves me. Anyway, so Taylor Swift got the booze, and Donald Trump, because Taylor Swift, if you remember, I think went for Kamala Harris, backed her up pretty good. And what happened? Look who got the last laugh, because she got booed out of the world. I don't know, somebody's calling my phone. Don't call my phone. 416-818-8143. That's it. If you can't remember, back it up and write it down. What the hell's wrong with you? So yeah, Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't even know one Taylor Swift song, so this doesn't really bother me at all. I don't know if you're a Swiftie, this might bother you. If you're upset by this, I'm sorry. Don't blame me. It has nothing to do with me, okay? That's for damn sure. But so Taylor Swift got booed, and then, oh, somebody's calling in. Let's see who it is. Are you guys ready? Let's see if this works. I hope it works. Hello? Hello? Okay, it's not working. Let's see. What do I got going on here? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if it's coming through the live stream.
I don't know if it's coming through the live stream either. Is it coming through the live stream, everybody? Hello, hello? Is it coming through the live stream?
I think it might just be us.
Is it just us? Is that it? Hold on a sec. Let's
Yeah, because I think your headphones, it's the audio is just coming to you.
Well,
Oh,
right.
no. Charlottetown
It's
says,
working.
yes, I
It's
can hear.
working. We did it. All right, everybody. John, what is on your mind, sir? Thank you for calling in. John? Hold on. Who's calling in here? Did I say John on the screen? Is this John? Jeff?
No, Mark.
Mark? All right. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, it says John on the screen. Mark, this is perfect. This show couldn't go any worse, and this is just how we like it. What's on your mind, sir? Thanks for calling in.
So, well, thank you for having me. I just want to pull up a report. It said that Canadians, I think it was, I don't know if it was the OECD or the G7, but we prioritize residential real estate investment pretty much better than any other country in the world. And I'm just wondering, do you think Canadians prioritize residential real estate investment because our tax system doesn't incentivize work? And if somebody can say, hey, you know what, my primary residence is tax free, all the gains I can get, why don't I just take out the as much leverage as I can to try to see how much growth I can get out of it.
Well, isn't that a good question? I mean, there aren't any options to, grow your wealth here in Canada. I don't know about other cities, but Toronto, it's a hell of a place to try and be able to afford without flipping houses or taking money out of a house that goes up 10-15% a year. But I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, there used to be all kinds of people doing all kinds of different things. The dollar was like 50 cents, 55 cents. We were Hollywood North. People were making furniture. People were making all kinds of stuff here. It's just like we just lost our way for a little bit because it became so easy for a lot of people to make money doing nothing, right? And I think that's what everybody wants, right? Who the hell wants to work? Do you want to work?
Well, I do. I think depending on what your views are in America, nobody can take away that those are some of the most entrepreneurial people in the world. They actually like starting businesses because I think it's very much their bravado. They like, beating their chest. And I think a lot of it is shown through their entrepreneurship and starting companies and going public, etc.
Well, they got a good scam going there, right? Like,
What's their,
well, I mean,
the
they
stock market or?
Yeah, the stock market's a crock of shit, right? The stock market is a bunch of overvalued bullshit con artists. There's some real companies in there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't know. Did you see? I don't know much about stocks, right? But Palantir's like 88 times their earnings. That's fucking insane, right?
But that's people making those investments.
Well, but that's dummies making those investments based on people that are supposed to be not dummies telling them that they should make that investment. And then a bunch of idiots on social media pumping it up more and more and more and more, right?
Right. But you know what? The government really does it. So if there is a correction, the government doesn't come in like Canada and save their butt. And you look at what we did with our real estate, let banks extending amortizations, blanket appraisals, pretty much 100% LTV with the CMHC financing. I don't think that happens in Canada. And if I think it did happen, it was in '08, and a lot of that Dodd-Frank kind of stuff that got enacted wiped it all clear.
I don't know about that. I know that there were a lot of shenanigans and a lot of people made a lot of bloody money when things went south, and a lot of people had vested interests in things kind of shifting for a little while. It was weird though. Like, it didn't, I guess in the States it lasted longer than here. Here that crisis was nuts, right? Like, it was 10 months. I got wiped out in the middle of that thing.
Yeah. We didn't. So Mark Carney says a reason our banks were better capitalized because we didn't partake in subprime mortgages.
No, I think the real reason is because they papered over everything in the background and nobody really knew what was going on. And they just did a ton of quantitative easing here without most people even knowing what the hell that meant back then.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you brought up quantitative easing. If you were a central banker, would you tie currency? And this is how it originally was on the gold standard. Would you tie it to a physical asset like gold? And when I say gold, if you want to maybe say, okay, not gold, but Bitcoin, something that has a scarce resource that can be tied to.
Okay. I'm going to drop you off now. I'm going to answer that. Bitcoin, first of all, is not something that I would ever want to put my money into or assume is a scarce asset. I don't think that's a real asset at all. So let's get that straight. Now, would I tie it to a real asset like gold? I don't know. Gold is like, I don't know. Is it that scarce? Like, isn't there gold all over the place? I don't know why things are tied to gold. Something physical makes sense to me, but I don't know. I'm bored with your questions. I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. If anybody else wants to, Darryl, turn up my mic. Is my mic quiet, guys? Can you not hear me? Do we have a problem? Shit. So that was quiet and probably boring. I apologize, guys. Maybe that wasn't the best idea in the world. But anyways, here we are. We're talking about the Super Bowl, and then we were interrupted by some questions that I don't know if those made me look dumber than normal or if I looked good. Let me know in the chat if I looked smarter than normal or if I looked like a bigger dolt than I usually do. How's that volume, neurotuition? We could hear the caller, but not you. Well, that's fucked. That's unfortunate. Well, I'm glad that you all stuck with me through that, and I really appreciate that you're still here, even though you couldn't hear me. That says something about you guys. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much. Uh-oh, I'm showing the screen. I'm not supposed to be showing the screen. Apologize for that. Apologize for that. Did you guys see that? What a fucking horrible show this is. Good thing this is live, okay? And good thing I am not worried about looking like a dummy. Because if I was worried, first of all, I'd just have to press end, like right when I start every goddamn show. Okay, Darryl, turn up. Yes, it is. I can hear. We could hear the caller, but not you. Better. Okay. Not helpful. But anyways, here we are. So the Super Bowl, okay? Am I on the right screen? The Super Bowl was a fucking sham. It sucked. Taylor Swift got booed. I enjoyed that personally. I didn't see it live because who the fuck could actually watch that whole thing live? Now, I didn't see this, but did you guys see Ontario? Okay. Like, Ontario is trying to fight back, and I guess Canada's trying to fight back. Well, you know what? First, I'm going to show you, because Trump again had some stuff to say about Canada becoming the 51st state. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this anymore. Some days I think it's a good idea. Some days I think it's a horrible idea, mainly when people are attacking me, thinking I'm a traitor, okay? But for the most part,
the Prime Minister said this week,
I think I'm on board with the potential of this. But I don't know. I'll fight for Canada too. I don't really care. To be honest with you, whatever's best for me and my family, okay? That's the truth.
weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen. He was at a private meeting.
So what they're talking about is Justin Trudeau. I don't know if you heard it. I should probably have led with that. Justin Trudeau, there was a leak of him saying to some people that Trump's threat of annexing Canada into the states as the 51st state is real. That this is real, bro.
Said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada. And
this is not true, by the way, but anyways, it sounds good.
I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
If you're part of the family, I'm okay with it. Okay? We're okay wasting our money on you if you're part of the family. But if you guys are, you know, if you're not willing to participate in this family, we got to cut you off. We got to cut you off in your $200 billion credit cards.
You said the tariff is a beautiful, you know, the prime.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's what he said there. And I don't know if that was helpful to you. But then we've also got this, where I don't know where the hell he was doing this interview. It's not the best sound ever. I don't know if you heard it. Let's get this thing queued up. Jamie, shall we? Here we go.
We're making our country larger.
I guess they're on a plane or something. Look at this. This is the Gulf of America, right? The Gulf of America. They're on, I guess, Air Force One. Look at the snacks over here. Snyder's. Those are pretzels. What else we got? I can't really tell. He's got a whole bunch of snacks there. This guy is just not getting thinner.
We're making our country larger. We're making our country stronger. And in the case of Canada, if this should happen, I don't know how they can do it without us.
I don't know how they can do it without us. I mean, can we? Or can we?
Because without the U.S., Canada really doesn't have a country. They do almost all of their business with us. And if we say we want our cars to be made in Detroit, with a stroke of a pen, I can do that.
With a stroke of the pen, all of the car business can vanish from Canada and end up back in Michigan. Is that a fact?
And other things in addition to that would not allow Canada to to be a viable country.
We are not a viable country. Okay? We are not a viable country without the states, is the messaging we are getting from Donald Trump. And this is, I think, at the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl or around the Super Bowl. It's something to do with the Super Bowl. Okay? So Trump is really starting to heat up his rhetoric about us becoming the 51st state of America. And people are not very into it here. People are all of a sudden becoming patriotic. Now, what are they going to do? I have no idea. I have no idea what they're going to do. I don't imagine they have a plan. Okay? I don't imagine that they have a plan. But if they do, tell me. What are we going to do, everybody? Okay, let's see. Anything going on in the chat? We could hear the caller, but not you. Better, but it's not Sunday. What does that mean, Jimmy Pro? It's not Sunday. To answer that caller, I don't think we in Canada have the infrastructure and that. Okay, you can read that on your own. You look like an American type of guy. What does that even mean? I look like an American type of guy. Does that mean I'm fat? Are you calling me fat, Jimmy Pro? What the fuck, bro? All 10 premier and 3 territories are in Washington right now. Okay, good. As an example, look at, okay, whatever. Start your own pod. Ditch TK. He's holding you back. What do you think this is, bro? What do you think this is? It has nothing to do with TK. This is just my own. Do you see? Is TK over here? Hello, I'm TK. How are you? No, it's not TK. It's just me. I'm doing my own thing. Not instead of, as well as, because I have nothing better to do with my time. I don't know a single person that's proud to be Canadian. I don't think that that's true. Go on Twitter, okay? There's plenty of people. Go on TikTok. They're all over the place. I took the rest of the day off now that Derry is live. There he is, that bastard. You got ruined my day with the Derry shit, bro. You're bringing back trauma from when I was a kid. Who needs this, okay? Who needs the trauma to fly back into my life? Really? Like, you got to do this to me? You got to traumatize me, honestly? Is it nice? No. Can I get a like from all of you wonderful people that are concurrently here right now? I would love that. If I could just get some likes, okay? It's one of the reasons I'm here. If I could get some likes, if I can get some subs, a little love, please. Just a little, okay? Time to make real estate great again. Time to make Canada great again. Time to make Darryl's channel. It's time to make Darryl's channel great again. Because Darryl's channel used to be great. Now, not so much. How about those short videos every day, every morning? Have you subbed? Have you seen those? Because my son is doing the best job of all time, editing that shit. And it is funny. Like, I wake up every morning. I don't know, until 6:30 in the morning, I don't know what he's doing on that thing. I don't know if I'm going to look good, bad, if I'm going to laugh. Actually, I know I'm going to laugh. I generally laugh every time. But hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because you want to see my son's work. Trust me, it's amazing. It's funny as bloody hell. So, okay. So now, in retaliation, okay, because Trump's out there, and he's telling everybody that we're not a country on our own, and with a stroke of a pen, I can destroy you, and I want you to know it. Okay? Okay. I'm the greatest. You're Canada. Let's make it work. And so, in retaliation, because this is we're Canadians, I know. Some of us are talking a big game right now. We're getting crazy in the background and we're getting ready to rumble. Some of us, okay? Some of us are getting crazy. But did you see what we did, guys? Did you see what we did? Canada, Ontario put out an ad during the Super Bowl, okay? You can't make this shit up. I don't know if you watched it. I don't know who saw this. I'll bet you more people saw this shit after it aired, like on TikTok and Instagram and on stupid shows like this thing. Let's get this thing queued up. Jamie, are you ready? Are you ready, Jamie? Here we go. Let's go.
For generations, this ally to the north has been by your side.
So just so you know, in case you just got here, this is how we fight back, guys. This is how Canada flexes its muscles when we're under pressure and we're under fire, and when the United States of America, the biggest, baddest bastards on the planet, decide that they're coming for us. Here we go. This is what we do. This is what we're made of, everybody. Are you ready?
For generations, this ally to the north has been by your side. Ontario, Canada, a partner connected by shared history, shared values, and a shared vision for what we can achieve together.
Are we looking good? Are we looking strong?
Stable and secure when the world around us isn't. You can rely on Ontario for energy to power your growing economy, and for the critical minerals crucial to new technologies.
I wonder if people watch this because they don't know. Do you think most of the people watching the Super Bowl know that the United States, that they get all this shit from us? They think we're just a bunch of little pussies up here, I think. Right? Just a bunch of nice Canadians, up there, Just a bunch of nice Canadian hosers, Oh, you guys supply us with all of this power? Really? We get how much of our oil from you? Really? Are you fucking for real? What? All the minerals that we need come from you guys? Wow. We don't need you guys at all for nothing.
Ontario is your third largest trading partner.
Third largest, not Canada. Ontario.
And the #1 export destination for 17 states. Our long-standing
17 states
economic partnership keeps millions of Americans working. In a changing world, it's time to bring jobs back home and build together. More workers, more trade, more prosperity, more security. For generations, this ally to the north has been here. And for generations more, we'll still be here, right by your side.
Interesting that it was Ontario and not Canada, I think, right? Like, isn't that kind of weird? Do you find that weird? I kind of find that weird that it's Ontario and not all of Canada. Why do I find that weird, you ask? I have no idea. But I do find it weird. Don't you find that weird? Like, why was that from Ontario? Is BC going to pound them with an ad campaign too? Did Ontario pay for that out of my tax dollars? Who paid for that thing? That's what I want to know. So Trump is pushing for the 51st state, and Canada is retaliating with commercials in the Super Bowl, okay? And it's all just a smoke screen here, okay? It's all just a smoke screen because there's other reasons, I think, that the United States wants Canada, right? It's not only for the oil. It's not only for the potash. It's not only for the nickel. It's not only for the natural resources, okay? There's something else afoot. There's something else at play. There is something else going on. And do you know what it is? What is it? What do you think it is? You look like an American type of guy. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Start your own pod. Okay, we got there already. I don't know a single person that's okay. Already hit the like. Thank you. How many of your son's peers are doing the media like he is? Probably none. They are all, my son doesn't go to school anymore. So this is his job. So I doubt any of them. But he's a comedic genius, right? And an editing genius. Leaving Toronto for Greece permanently this summer. Papadakos 360. Papadakos heading back to Greece. Adios. Arrivederci. Goodbye. Welcome to Greece. Thank you for coming. The USD World Reserve Currency. Okay. What does that mean? I'm definitely buying more BC real estate in 2025. This year is going to be epic. Okay. What is this? Swiss love up. Thumbs up. Selling all investments in Toronto, has been trying to get tenant out for the last 3 years. Destroyed unit, not paying. That's unfortunate. What accent is the story is? I need to know for the video. I'm not sure. That was a guy that used to be my he was my stucco guy, George. That was my stucco guy, George. The story is, Darryl. The story is. And this guy would tell me history. He would tell me about world politics and all kinds of interesting stuff. But I wasn't interested back then because I was trying to build the goddamn houses. And he just wanted to tell me the story is, Darryl. The story is. So let's say he's some kind of Eastern European. I don't know where he was from. Could have been Macedonia. Could have been something else. Transylvania. I don't fucking know. Maybe he was Hungary. I don't think so. Somewhere. Okay? He was from somewhere. Greece, not Swiss. Okay, got it. Right. Greek. Yeah, sorry. That was a Greek flag. Like, I've memorized all of the flags. LTB in Ontario, total mess. But hey, $1 a beer is here. Right. Well, LGBTQ is here too. Who else thinks Darryl Channel should be ranked number 1? Currently ranked number 2 behind the Tom Story Show. The Tom Story Show. Oh my God. Why do I got to be mentioned in the same name as that show all the time? For God's sakes. It's 2 realtors talking about real estate. Okay. How is our show the same or similar? Other than the fact that it's on Sunday. Okay. And they copied our format. Other than that, tell me how the fuck these shows are even in the same league. But anyways, enough about that. Let's talk more about the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl, you want to talk about, here's the conspiracy part, guys. Are you ready? Here's the time. We're here. It's time for the conspiracy for the Super Bowl. Okay, so what did we do? We saw Taylor Swift got booed. Now, we didn't see Trump got cheered like crazy, right? Okay, but we saw Taylor Swift got booed. We saw Trump pushing the 51st state shit again, okay? We saw, what else did we see? We saw the Ontario ad fighting back, showing them who's boss, guys. Don't forget that you get all your shit from us, okay? And yeah, maybe you can get it somewhere else, but we can sell it somewhere else. And they want it. Anyways, so we saw that. And then we saw the halftime show. Did you see the halftime show, guys? Did you stick around for the fucking halftime show? What a waste of a day this was. And it started early. Like if you were, at a party, this thing was forever. So what do we got here? We got, okay, this is most people's reactions. Okay, hang on a sec. Most people's reactions to the halftime at the Super Bowl yesterday. Okay, let's tee it up, Jamie. Here we go.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
What the fuck is this piece of shit? This is the halftime show, everybody.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Right? Like if you saw the halftime show and you were watching it live and you couldn't like slow it down to see all of the symbolism and all of the weird shit that was really going on in the background, wow. Then it was just a boring rap show that you couldn't understand what the dude was saying. And this is like Kendrick Lamar. Like this is not the most mainstream dude. This guy went mainstream recently because he beat the shit out of Drake with a epic rap battle or whatever the fuck was going on. And then, I don't think most of the fans of the Super Bowl are like big thuggy, ghetto-y rap fans. But anyways, so that was most people's reactions. We've got another reaction here. What was this reaction? Oh, here's a whole bunch of reactions. This is what people were kind of saying on Twitter. Like they were showing how our generation used to do halftime shows, right? Like
Never
Prince.
meant to cause you any pain.
Right? Like this is the way you do it.
I only wanted one time to see you laughing, babe.
This
Only
is
wanna see you laughing, yeah. In the purple rain.
That's kind of purple rain.
Purple rain.
Yeah, right? Right? Gotta love that. Little purple rain action. And then, this is probably even more fitting than what we saw there, I think, if you ask me.
Rich man,
You remember this guy. from back when COVID was happening. I mean, this seems a little more fitting, right? This dude.
Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do.
I think people would have enjoyed that much more than what we got at the Super Bowl. And I guess I should show you what we got at the Super Bowl, right? Where is what we got at the Super Bowl? One moment, please. I need to find it because I don't even have it here. Here it is. Ready?
Necklace to ghetto.
This is the...
Salutations. It's your uncle.
This is your black uncle, Uncle Sam. And I'm not a racist, but Uncle Sam, well, everybody's black in this thing. And I'm not making a big deal out of it, okay? I'm just noticing that the whole halftime show was a bunch of black people, and I didn't really notice that on my own. Other people noticed that, and I just also noticed it.
It's the great American.
Favoring us 20 years in, still got that pen that
I'm just skipping shit.
Would not get the picture if I had to sit you for hours in front of the Louvre. The revolution about to be feet.
So we just got a bunch of this shit, right? We just got a bunch of people dancing around, not really knowing what's going on. But then, if you follow the right people on TikTok, okay? If you follow the right people on TikTok, were there any other good people were comparing like Michael Jackson back in the day? There were some pretty kick-ass. Remember when Janet Jackson's boob came out? When Justin Timberlake took out her boob? I mean, how much better can you get than that, for Christ's sakes? No? When the boob came out, was that on purpose? Did that boob come out on purpose? I think that boob came out on purpose, because otherwise, how relevant is that woman? So here, the conspiracy theories are coming out on TikTok. Okay, they are out in full force on TikTok. Hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. Do you see what I'm seeing, folks? I pressed the button. It should be here. Here we go. Jamie, cue it up.
Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform at the Super Bowl. He made a statement. His halftime show wasn't just about entertainment. It was about symbolism, storytelling, and pushing boundaries.
Wow, okay, now this guy's video is boring, but you see that people are getting a little spun up over the whole thing, right? And we will just move on to the next one that's a little less boring than that one. Ooh, this guy's good. This guy's a little bit exciting. Hopefully you don't get too bored from it. Jamie, cue it up. Here we go. Ready?
So the more that I rewatch this performance, the more that I realize this is a clear call for a revolution. Not only does he come up and say that this revolution will be televised, you picked the right time but the wrong guy. You have Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, who is the embodiment of America. When he asked,
I lay my vengeance upon thee. Anyway, so yeah, you see another conspiracy. And blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And what do we got here? Oh, this guy, okay? You want to listen to this guy. This is for damn sure. If I saw this, okay, if I was at a party with this guy, and this guy was telling me all of this shit, okay, I would be like, I don't know if I should trust what you're saying, bro, because you're creeping me out a little bit. I got to be honest with you. Jamie, is that thing queued up, mister? You ready to go? Okay, Jamie.
Did y'all see the hidden message at the Super Bowl halftime show with Kendrick Lamar?
He's a little creepy, no? Like his eyes are a little scary. He's got a little pigmentation thing going on around his mouth. This eye looks a little strange to me.
Lamar, right after he finishes, there's a message in the stands lit up. I'm going to show y'all. Let's get into it.
You're going to show me?
Now look closely.
Anyways,
family.
You see, game over.
Family. Now, obviously, it's a football game. It's the Super Bowl, but what
more
else
conspiracies. Okay, so are we done with the conspiracy stuff in the Super Bowl? Are we bored of that? Do we want to move on? Okay, we'll move on. I'm bored of that. Everybody has left the building. I've scared everybody off. I'm sorry. I fucked that one up. I won't bore you anymore with that nonsense from the NFL. Now, I did ask this question the other day, and I didn't really get a satisfactory answer. If Canada does become the 51st state of the United States of America, is this when Toronto finally gets an NFL team? This is what I want to know, okay? Do we finally get an NFL team? Because we've been waiting forever. Okay, we're one of the biggest cities in North America. Don't know if you knew that too, Mr. USA people. Okay, what else do we got? You want to talk about here. Okay, so we're in the middle of a problem, right? There's a problem in the... You want me to talk about real estate? Is this what I'm seeing here? Am I going to lose in the standing? Okay, hold on a sec. Who else thinks Darryl? Okay, where's D. Trent? Don't know. Super Bowl happened. Yeah, I know. I liked it. No, the whole stadium was singing a few of his songs. Okay. Hip hop. Thank you, Aiden, for your support. I'm glad you're watching. Hello. It sucked. For all the people that have money to pay for tickets, it sucked. Hip hop is the most popular music right now. Blah, 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 blah. Darryl and TK singing would have been better. Yes, this is true. Those are bracks. I don't know what bracks means. Bye-bye. You lost me. Sorry. Let's talk real estate. Okay, here we go. Ready? Real estate time. Now, we're in this pickle, right? We got a real estate problem here. And if you follow me at all, talk about buying Canadian going on right now. Are you boycotting American products, Darryl? I personally... I'm not boycotting them. I like the idea of boycotting them. I guess it depends how far you're going to go with this. So like today I had a local bagel. I don't know where the tuna was from. Okay. But it was a locally made bagel. So I'm trying to do my part here. I think it's a great idea for all of us to start buying local. If you watch my other show, the Canadian Real Estate Show, you will have seen me talking for many years about manufacturing back here in Canada. And not understanding, even though I owned an importing business. I owned a furniture company that imported from all over the other side of the world. And I understand how it works, right? I understand how the stuff is so much cheaper there. And that if you put enough of them on a boat at the same time, that the prices are down, right? But like with automation and robotics and not sending materials and, like the materials go through so many different hands before they even get to the factory that puts them together. There's got to be a way to just have a bunch of robots that, make tables and chairs and sofas, all the stuff that we need here again. And yes, maybe we won't get as many jobs in manufacturing, but there will be jobs because people have to fix the robots and people have to program the robots and people have to retool the factories and people have to do shit still. Okay. They still have to do stuff. And I don't know why the hell I'm talking about that. But anyways, I think we can onshore a hell of a lot more stuff. But I'm trying to talk about real estate. So stop slowing me down, Coconut Patel, if that is your real name. I watch Cress right after I finish watching the Tom Story Show after Sunday. Okay. See, we know where your allegiance lie. Dumb money. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Everybody else knows which is really the best show, okay? Everybody else really knows which is the best show. And I don't know how many views those guys get, but I know how many we get. And it's a ridiculous amount of views, okay? So just enough with your bullshit, dumb money. Pissing me off. For fuck's sakes, get out of here! You're gone! Get out of here, you bastard. I don't know if you're female, male. Anyways, you got me all fucked up. Okay, so we're in the middle of this problem, right? We got a real estate problem. Things are fucked. Valuations are too high. People paid too much money, and now they're coming in with valuations that are too low, and people need to refinance, and everybody's fucked up, and people are going bankrupt all over the place. And this is obviously not good, right? And so how did we get here, right? All kinds of ways, right? There's lots of ways that helped us get here. But one way, if you followed me for any length of time, and if you're here, give me a like, give me a sub, say something in the chat, do something for me that's helpful and productive, please. There's all kinds of you here, and none of you hit the like button. It's really unfair and disappointing. But anyways, okay, so why are we here? I have said it many times that we are here partially and mainly because of appraisers, okay? Because of appraisers, okay? And why? Why do I think it's because of appraisers? Because appraisers somehow manage to allow people to quantify that they paid $100,000 more than the same house down the street yesterday, okay? And they allow that kind of shit to happen over and over and over again. Right? For years and years and years and years, the appraisers appraise things above where they really should have been. And why? Because that's what the buyer paid. Okay? Because what happens, right, if the appraisal doesn't come in? Does the transaction close? No, the transaction doesn't close. And do banks want the transactions to close? Generally, right? Now, do the banks even know everything? No, because there's those broker guys, right? Those mortgage brokers and those realtors that really want the thing to close. So, you know, the banks get whatever information they need in order for the deal to close. But so you got all these people that really want the deal to close, and the appraiser wants to get, you know, money all the time. So he can't be not helping things close, right? And anyways, don't take it from me. Okay, don't take it from me. Take it from this guy, because this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm pretty goddamn sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure. This guy here. One moment, please. Okay, this guy's going to explain why appraisals are fucked. Okay, and they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. But they're fucked, and they fuck up the market for all of us because of how the appraisal thing works. So check out this dude. I'm not sure who he is, but I like him.
You own an appraisal company. You own an appraisal business. And you want real estate agents and bankers and what have you to contact you to go and do random appraisals of these houses. And if your appraisals always come back, you know, lower than everybody else's, well, then that means that they're not going to move as many houses.
That's right. And people don't like low appraisals, especially in a good market, right? People like appraisals that come in at least at what they paid, right? Because what happens, let's say I go out and I buy a house for $2 million, and the house 3 days ago down the street went for 1,925, okay? And I'm like fed up with this shit, and the market's overheating, and everybody's going crazy, and it's been like this for years, and it's just enough already. So it's like, I'm going to go pay for the $2 million, okay? I don't care that the last one was 1,925. I make enough money. I know I'm going to get my mortgage. Let's go. $2 million. Fuck this shit. Let's go, right? And what happens is somebody has to hire an appraiser, right? Generally, it's the lender. So the lender hires an appraiser. And what happens with the appraisal? Comes back at $2 million on the nose. That's interesting. How did that happen? Wow, this guy's amazing. Last week, he appraised the one that sold at 1,925 for 1,925. How did that happen? That's amazing. Should they be allowed to see what the purchase price was? Should they have a moral obligation, a professional obligation to say, hold on a sec, buckos, this is not the value of this thing. This is not the price. You're crazy. I cannot value it at this, right? You should get paid based on the amount of money you save your clients by not allowing them to overpay for shit because the market is crazy. That doesn't mean that they should stop, but you should appraise it at the right price, and you should force them to put in the right amount of equity to make up the difference, right? You shouldn't enable the people to get the mortgage that they can't afford, okay? Or that they shouldn't be paying that much for, because you stack this on top of one another for years and years and years. And I mean, imagine what it does to values when some fucking asshole is willing to pay an extra $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $150,000, depending on where, depending on what, depending on how the market's doing, right? And so that's what we had. We had years and years and years and years of appraisers pulling this shit on us, and we wanted it.
Right? So you have to play this little game of, well, if we actually appraise these houses based on what they really probably should be appraised at, then no one's going to do any deals. The potential buyers of the houses aren't going to, they're not going to qualify because they'll have to come up with even bigger down payments. They'll be told that it didn't come in at appraised value. The bankers are going to be upset about this because, like, well, if you're appraising everything lower than everything else in the neighborhood, and they just wrote a bunch of deals in that neighborhood, then that means that you're effectively saying that their balance sheet is going to go in the red. So,
do you see the layers upon layers of issues with this whole appraisal thing? Okay. And so how is he making the judgment, or she making the judgment, or they, I suppose? How are they making the judgment on a house, right? If last week it sold for less money, I mean, what happened in a week, really, for fuck's sakes? I mean, let's get realistic here. How do houses go up in a week? I mean, I love it from one perspective, and if I'm selling my house, I mean, that's fantastic, right? But now what we see is that the appraisers are not only, they fucked it up on the way up, right? Because they gave people whatever they needed in order to get the deal done. But now on the way down, they're super tight and they're afraid to get their asses sued by everybody, right? Because now they feel like they could be held liable for their appraisals, right? And so you get caught in this death spiral both ways when we shouldn't even trust those guys to begin with. Now, what should we rely on? That's a good question. I don't have a goddamn clue. Okay? Maybe somebody in the chat has an idea, right? Of a better way to deal with stuff other than appraisers. Okay? But I mean, if the house was worth $1.2 million a few weeks ago, for fuck's sakes, what happened? Unless you renovated it. Like, what happened over a few weeks that made it worth more? Because you live there now? You bastard. You son of a bitch. You think you're so great that you just move in and the value spikes? That's a load of shit. That's a load of malarkey. So what the hell is increasing the value of these things? It's morons coming to buy, again, the next moron. My appraiser asked me how much my mortgage was going to be, right? It's like, hi, this is Darryl calling from Dealcorp Properties. I'm looking for an appraisal to be done at this property here. Can you send it to me? And that would be, as soon as possible. That would be great. Well, how much did you pay for it? What should that matter to you? Well, I just want to make sure, but where do you need the price to be? What? This doesn't seem responsible to me at all. Now, that's not how I behave with an appraiser. I mean, appraisals are a tool for real estate professionals, right, of all sorts. Now, if you're trying to get financing, certainly the higher the appraisal, the better, right? But if you're the one lending the money, then the lower the appraisal, the better. And so you can see, depending on who hires the appraiser, how things could get a little bit shenanigan-y. Okay? And then, like anything else, you can find a guy who's willing to put the price that you are expecting or hoping for. Now, is he going to be the first guy you talk to? Depends on the deal, right? But sometimes you need to speak to a few appraisers before you find the guy who sees things the same way that you do. Now, does that mean that the lender isn't going to have a guy that somehow sees things the way that they need it to be seen? Absolutely, that's going to happen. And it depends on the market and which way it's going, right? I mean, right now, I'll tell you, appraisers are really pissing me off, right? Because it's a weird environment, especially for land, okay? So when you're in a weird land environment and you're an appraiser who just fucked up for the last 20 years and all kinds of people are kind of looking at you going, how'd you come up with that valuation, bro? And he's like, don't you remember, like, you told me what number you wanted and I wrote it down for you? Don't you remember that? And maybe you don't. Maybe you do. But this is a big part of the housing issues and the pricing issues that we have. And are we, like, forget about the fact, okay, so you get an appraiser, okay? Now, can you afford the place without 18 guarantees and cosigners? I guess that's a whole other story. And maybe we're not going to go there because we've been talking for quite some time. And quite honestly, like, there's so many of you here and there's not enough like buttons pressed. And, I feel like I'm being used, quite honestly, here, okay? I'm not here to be used, okay, and abused like a piece of meat, like a sexy piece of beautiful, handsome, delicate meat. This is not why I'm here for you. I'm here for likes, subscriptions, and views, okay? Can we be honest here? This is why I'm here. So do something. Please hit a button, okay? Not the button that, no, see, every time I ask you guys to do something, you all leave. You bunch of fucking assholes. What is going on? Why would you hit the leave button? Okay? Honestly, I press the like button before I even start listening. Hit the like button, please, people. 23 likes. Exactly, Charlotte. That's fucking horrible. So many people. So few people like me. I'm getting sad. Okay, ready? Let's shift topics. We need a new topic because I'm bored as fuck. Oh, okay. Do you want to see another? Okay, we're good with the appraisal thing. Everybody, we exhausted the appraisers. Does anybody have anything to add to this? Does anybody want to call into the show again? Does anybody want to call into the show again? You were bored before. I know. It was fucking boring, right? How about, do you guys want to talk about Justin Trudeau and Macron being gay for each other? And Macron being married to a man? Is this something that people are interested in talking about? Or am I going to lose everybody here? Am I going too far? No? You don't want to talk about the gay leaders of France and Canada and how they're married to men, potentially? Is this a no? Are we not into this? Am I going to force you to be into this, friends? No? Charlotte says no. Anybody else voting on this one? Can we get a vote here? A vote? Do we want to talk about Justin Trudeau? Too far, don't care. Okay, not going there. Don, the legend, says no. Charlotte, the legend, says no. We're not going there. It's unfortunate, everybody. It was going to be funny as fuck. I swear to God, there's some weird shit going on. Okay, fine. So we did that. We did that. We did that. Ooh, here. This is pretty important. Housing will never be affordable to the majority. What do you think about them apples, friends? What do you think about that? Housing will never be affordable to the majority, okay? And I've been saying this for a long time. And I think that this is a fact, friends. This is absolutely a fact that housing will never, ever, ever be affordable here in Toronto. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't give a shit who you listen to, where you're coming from, what you're smoking, what you're drinking. I don't care. Housing will never be affordable in places like Toronto or Vancouver for the majority of the people ever again in your lifetime. So keep dreaming about a crash, okay? Keep dreaming. Do you got this thing queued up, Mr. Editor? Do you have it queued up yet? Are you okay? Here we go. Now, I love this guy. He's the lazy investor or something like that. I follow him on everything. He's really funny. He's really lazy. He says he has millions of dollars and that he would just prefer living in a little condo because he has a heated garage and he doesn't have to shovel, and condo living is for smart people and owning a house is for losers.
You will never have affordable housing in your lifetime. Stop waiting for it. It'll never happen. I'll tell you why. I'll give you 4 solutions, only one of which will work. On social media, you hear a lot of people complaining, like millennials, saying that they can't find affordable housing. That is disingenuous because once a millennial gets a home, they no longer want affordable housing.
You see, this is the thing, right? And this is so true. Anybody that owns a house, okay, once you own the house, you don't give a shit about affordable housing until your kids need a house, okay? When the market is roaring and you bought a house, all you care about is that price keeps going up, okay? This is the honest to God truth. And we've talked about it many times, friends. There are many, many, many more forces at play that are far more powerful than any other forces at play that do not want the housing market to go down. Okay, I'm old, I'm disgusting, I'm burping, I'm puking here. I apologize that you have to witness this. It is disgusting, okay? But sorry. I went off topic. So, again, you buy a house, you become one of the people that don't give a fuck about affordable housing anymore, okay? All of you young people, I promise this will be you if you ever figure out how to save up enough money to buy yourself a goddamn house. You will be like all the rest of us, where all you care about is that your price goes up and fuck everybody else. You can go move to Winnipeg.
Nobody who is a homeowner wants their home to be more affordable. They want the opposite. They want their house price to go up. Gen Z will take up the mantle as more millennials start getting homes. It's the same cycle that happened with boomers during the high inflation era. They said housing is not affordable. Millennials then took it on. They're getting homes, so now they don't care. This post says, quote, the average house in Canada.
Remember John Flint? We like John Flint. He finally came on the Canadian Real Estate Show after years of me. I feel like it was years of me trying to get him to come on the show. So now he's, I think he's actually going to roast John. Hold on a sec.
It should cost no more than $400,000. I don't know why they say that. Quote, based on average household income, it should be $350,000 to $400,000, 4 times household income maximum before or after tax income. Based on rent to price income, it should be $379,000. The average price is currently close to $700,000. The mistake this poster makes is that they think that there should be a relationship between house prices and income.
They think that there should be a relationship between house prices and income. And this is what everybody is talking about all the time, right? This is what all the experts are always talking about, is that the prices have to come back in line with the incomes because they got way too out of whack, right? They got crazy. And this guy's here to tell us that that's wrong. There does not have to be a correlation at all between income and house prices. There has to be a correlation between house prices and what people in the area can buy. And in some places, people can pay a lot more than others. And for some reason, they're willing.
There is no correlation, nor should there be, between house prices and income. A home is a consumer product, not an investment.
A home is a consumer product, not an investment. And see, this is where everybody has gone wrong, right? Not everybody. Most people, they just buy their house and they live in it, right? Like my dad, he bought like 2 houses, okay? Maybe 3 houses, because one house we lived in Milliken Mills for a very short time. Apparently, the story is, Darryl, the story is that you came home speaking with an Indian accent one day, and my parents decided it was time to move out of Milliken Mills, where we bought because the houses were super cheap way back in the day. Okay, but other than the Milliken Mills disaster, we lived in like one house basically for my whole life, and because my dad didn't look at it as an investment. I kept saying, Dad, you can make a fortune here selling this thing. And he didn't want to sell it because it was like more work and he had to do shit. And he didn't want to do shit. And he, where am I going to move? And I don't care. What am I going to do? And blah, 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 blah. But he wasn't looking at it as an investment. He was looking at it as a place to keep his ass warm, right? To keep his shit so people didn't steal it. So he could sleep, right? So he could raise this crazy fuck, right? So it's not an investment vehicle. And this is where we went off the rails as a country and we started the conversation, or Mark brought into the conversation, right? It's not an investment, right? It became an investment because there's no other way to make fucking money here because the incomes are so low.
What are consumer products correlated with? Wealth.
Wealth.
Wealthy people can buy more consumer products.
Plain and simple. You got dough, you can buy more snow.
House prices also won't go down because 2 out of every 3 people own a home. 2 out of 3 people are voting against you.
2 out of every 3 people are voting against you. And out of the 2, how many of them are politicians?
2 out of 3 people want their home prices to go up, not down. Only people who are looking for real estate prices to go down are people who don't have a house.
The only people looking for real estate prices to go down are people that don't own a house. Exactly. Forget about the social justice warriors that just want it to be fair, right? And it's so unfair, okay? Forget about those guys. They don't matter. Fair doesn't matter. This is life. Life isn't fair. You want fair? I don't know where to tell you to go. But it ain't here. Money laundering. We need money laundering. Make money laundering great again. That's what I say. Because this is an integral component to the real estate industry here in Canada. Money laundering and horrific appraisal standards or rules.
Now, people who own homes say I hope my price goes down so people can afford it. They're lying.
Who the fuck says that, bro? Has anybody ever said that before? Okay, we got to go back and hear that. Nobody ever says that.
A house. Now, people who own homes say I hope my price goes down so people can afford it.
No one says that. Never. That is never, ever something that is uttered by a homeowner. Ever.
They're lying to you. They can always sell their home for 30 to 60% less than market, but they won't.
Yeah.
They're just humoring you. Another reason shelter prices won't go down is NIMBYism. NIMBYism stands...
Yeah. Okay, back to NIMBYism. We all know what NIMBYism is, and that's certainly a hurdle. That's for goddamn sure. NIMBYism sucks. We can't watch that guy anymore. But, people pay crazy amounts in rent, right? And people need to park money, or at least they did until a little while ago when they weren't allowed to anymore, right? But people used to have all kinds of reasons to buy houses here, even if they didn't even make any goddamn money every month. But we all know how that's looking these days, right? I hope my price goes down. Don M. See, this is why Donnie M is a legend, right? Because he goes against the grain, baby. When everybody else is hoping that the price of their home goes up, Don M., who's thinking about starting his own business somehow, wants his home price to go down. I think that is not true. Okay? I think he is one of those people that is being disingenuous with us. And quite honestly, he's Don M. He can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's Don M. How much is your house worth, Don? Says Rose Overdose. Good question. I don't think he should answer that. There's a new generation up and coming, our kids, that need shelter too. Yes, our kids need shelter too. And do you know what? Our kids are going to have to need what we needed. Help from their parents, or they got to rent, or they got to work ridiculously hard, or they got to move, right? Like, these are your options. You can't bitch and piss and moan in the comments section and think that that's going to fucking make a difference. They're going to have to rent, and they're going to have to fucking like it. Don M. answers the question because he's a legend. $400K apparently. So what'd you pay for it, Donnie M? I paid down my principal aggressively. Canada, the second biggest country in the world, housing should be mega cheap. Okay. Housing should be mega cheap, but you got to build the stuff, right? You got to build it still. And if we got rid of all of the layers of costs, then yeah, it could be cheap, but it can't be cheap just because there's a bunch of land. When you got the most corrupt government on the planet taking every penny that they can from every person every step of the way, over and over and over again, while delaying things for years and years and years. How can you have it affordable? How can it be cheap? Just because you got a bunch of land? Like, even if the land was zero, if the land cost was zilch, zippo, zero, okay? If it was zero, you still couldn't make money on some sites because of the crazy construction costs, the ridiculous labor costs, the insane interest payments, the fees from the financing, the fees from the developer, right? All of the fees to the lawyers, okay? The fees to the guys that raise the money. All this stuff is stopping it from being affordable. But, I mean, how do you get labor if you're not willing to pay? And there's a million cranes in the sky, right? How do you get the labor? You got to pay more for the labor. You got to wait. And if you wait, it means you got to pay more for the land. So you don't want to wait, right? So the whole thing gets fucked up. And then you got the government going, hey, I need some money for this. So no, hey, we could use a park over there. Or no, we could use a train over there. No. Hey, guess what? The road doesn't have the proper sewers to handle all the piss and shit all these people are going to poop and pee down the drains. So now we got to hit you with like a $150,000 bill to rip out the street and to put in the new sewers. And, well, I mean, guess who's going to end up paying for all of that, right? Guess what? You people. You people, you first-time homeowners, you're going to pay for this shit. You're going to pay for it all. And you're going to like it, right? You're going to own nothing because you can't afford nothing. You're going to like it, and you're going to shut the fuck up because we told you to. And that's just how it is, right? Just how it is. Now, listen, I know every time I say this, a bunch of you will leave. And maybe it's time for all of us to leave. But there's a decent amount of you here. Hit the like button. Okay, hit the like button, say hello in the chat, hit the subscribe button, do something for me, please. Okay, do I amuse you? My Patel is right. I don't know what this means. Coco Patel, we're really behind in building our cities, our country, to be honest, way behind. And our low productivity levels are only getting worse. Well, I mean, where can you be productive here? I mean, are there people starting new businesses? Are there loans? Are people getting loans to start new businesses? Does it make sense to start businesses in this environment right now? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to do a lot of things in this environment right now, right? So how are we going to catch up, right? And then on top of it, you've got, we think we're behind in our building, right? And we have all this inventory that nobody wants. So you get caught up in the story of, is it really a supply issue? Do we have enough housing? Are we behind in the housing? right? And then you have one side saying, oh my God, in 2 years, like there's nothing being built right now. Nothing is being launched. Nothing is being sold. And when this market comes back and everybody's buying again, there's going to be no product to buy, right? This is a common story, right? So are we behind? Are we not behind? We have this story here that says, what a great fucking segue, Frankfort. What a great fucking segue, okay? We've got this story here from the king of real estate fear porn, okay, on Twitter, Shazzy Goalie. And a shout out to Shazzy, who I don't know if he's my friend. I don't know him. But a shout out to him because he gets a lot of views and he puts up a lot of scary shit. Toronto housing market is drowning. Nearly 20,000 homes sit unsold as buyers vanish, right? And this is not untrue, okay? This is not untrue. Sales are down. This is true from last year. And again, do we believe in the last year nonsense? Do we give a shit what happened last year? How many Januaries are the same? How many Januaries are geopolitically, our interest rate, our sentiment, like are the same, are exactly the same? Like, why do we compare month to month or month over month or year over year? Why do we do that? Does it make you feel fuzzy inside to know that it's worse than last year or better than last year? I want to know what the trend is. What do I give a fuck what last year, 12 months ago was when like 2 world wars and the new president and presidential assassination attempt and red water in the rivers and snow in like all UFOs. Like, what do I care about 12 months ago? Like, what happened in the last 4 months is fucking insane and can like drive a market one way or the other these days, right? So what the hell do we even compare to last year for? This gets me fired up. It pisses me off. New listings up 50%. This is a fabrication. This is a fabrication, okay? It's fake news. It's a fake stat, and I can prove it. I did it the other day. Go back and watch the stream the other day, yesterday or the last time. I made a spreadsheet. I disproved all this stuff. We had more inventory 2 months ago than we have now, okay? It's overall houses for sale. It's not new listings. These realtors, they manipulate the new listings data, the fake news, the data. It's all wrong. The story is there. The story is, okay? The story is the data is all stories. It's all stories. The story is the data is stories. It's all horseshit stories there, okay? And it's bothering me. The data is bullshit, and we're following the wrong part of the data because a year ago doesn't fucking matter. Last month, the month before, the way that things are going. This is what matters. But look, this is what's out in the media, okay? And people don't check this shit. They just go, oh, man, I read this article. There's a lot of inventory on the market. Holy shit. How much of this inventory is shitty condos that nobody fucking wants? How many of them, okay? Probably most. If you talk to TK, who is one of the busiest realtors on the planet, at least in the country, okay? He says, good luck finding a single family house that's nice, right? In an area that's nice. Good fucking luck. There's no inventory for that. So, yeah, we know the condo market is fucked. We know this. Okay? But, I mean, we got to have people pile on to this story, right? Fuck up our sentiment that we thought was maybe coming back, right? And here's another guy we like. We like Daniel Foch. He's shared this because he gets tons of views, tons of action. Toronto owners struggle to sell their homes as nearly 20,000 sit on the market. And he's just reposting this Toronto blog TO article, right? Toronto owners struggle to sell their homes as nearly 20,000 sit on the market. Now, I don't know if this says how many of them are houses, right? new listings. It's active listings that matters, okay? It's active listings. And it's active listings versus last month. What the fuck do I care about active listings versus a year ago? It doesn't matter. It's stupid. How many of these listings are, it doesn't say here. It doesn't say. Because they don't want us to know that it's just a bunch of shitty condos. Somewhere on here, it should say that there's 20,000 homes sitting on the market and they won't move because they're shitty little condos, and that makes up like 15,000 units out of the 20,000. And so the other 25%, okay, you see, I did that math in my head quickly. The other 25% are things that people may or may not want. And they're generally not in an area that the people want them to be in, because there's not that fucking many, okay? The problem is that the buyers have disappeared as well. Okay, so it just looks like shit right now, but it's not as bad as these guys are making it out to be. But when you live in a world where it's all about views, 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 and more views, okay, you end up with guys like me, like Foch, like Shazzy Goalie, posting stuff to attract your attention and pop negative shit in your head so that we can get more views. And that's just the truth. Okay, that's just how it really works. So we're going to end the show with something that I think we all enjoyed last time. We're going to check out Mr. Dink. Okay, Mr. Dink has got another rental ripoff for us. And I mean, listen, you want to talk about supporting Canadian and onshoring. This guy's a young Canadian comedian. He's kind of funny. I like him. He's not that funny, but he's funny enough. I think this is an interesting episode of Toronto Rent Ripoff. Jamie, do you have it queued up, my friend? Jamie? We're going to have to fire Jamie because he doesn't answer back.
Welcome back to another episode of the only show that takes you inside someone else's apartment so you can decide.
So you can decide if it's a ripoff. So we're in Trinity Bellwoods.
Someone else's apartment.
Trinity Bellwoods with Mr. Dink to see if this apartment is a ripoff.
So you can decide if it's a ripoff. It's MTV Cribs for broke people. And today might be our worst apartment ever. Her name is Delaney.
My name is Delaney. I pay $800 a month, all inclusive.
Delaney's room was very small and also very messy.
If somebody's home is a reflection of them, what does this say about young Delaney? I mean, her head must be a bloody disaster area. Would you want to live inside that head? I don't think so. I mean, I guess if you look behind me and you really kind of take a look at what's going on, maybe I should clean this up. I don't know if you guys heard that because I turned around, but if you look behind me, it probably looks like a fucking disaster bomb went off. I'm going to have to clean that up. My apologies. But Delaney here, there's got to be a couple of screws loose. I mean, one, she lives like this.
I suddenly felt like I was filming an episode of Hoarders. There was no space to walk, and I got the strange feeling I was one of the first guests ever.
There's one person that is like brave enough to like make it to my apartment. Shout out them.
Okay. That no one is willing to make it to your apartment is a sign that maybe you need to rethink your living arrangements potentially. You don't have to. Don't do it for me, right? Don't do it for me, but I think you may want to reconsider some of your choices.
Shout out me. Delaney's floors were covered in bug and rat poison.
That's normal, right? Bug and rat poison? I mean, that's normal. Haven't we all lived in a place where we need to have bug and rat poison lining the baseboards?
What's notable about the building?
Probably the roach, mice, and rat infestation.
Even
let's not just skip over that.
The roach, mice, and rat infestation.
Even
Probably the roach, mice, and rat infestation.
Even
This is the most notable part of the building?
her TV was powdered.
Keep the roaches out because, yeah, they don't like the powder.
What is wrong with Delaney? Rock the Casbah. What's up? Wouldn't date her, dumb money? I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. I think typical 20-something's room, dumb money. What the fuck, man? Is this what you're... My room was messy, okay? I had food on the floor, plates on the floor, shit all over the place. But I didn't have bug powder. I didn't have mice. I didn't have roaches. I mean, I lived with my parents, but I mean, it was messy. This is not typical, bro. Sorry. This is far from typical. Steve Karish is the best real estate mind in Western Canada. Dumb money. Okay, you know what? Quantify that claim. God damn it. We have the third largest proven oil reserve in the world. Diamonds, potassium, nickel. I'm confused. Where are you? Okay, I don't know who you're talking to. Don? Anyways, poor Delaney. Look at what people have to live in Toronto. Did you know this? Did you know that there's people living like this in Toronto? How much did she pay? I don't remember. How much was it?
That takes you inside someone else's apartment so you can decide if it's a ripoff. It's MTV Cribs for broke people. And today might be our worst apartment ever. Her name is Delaney.
My name is Delaney. I pay $800 a month.
$800 for 300 square feet. That's rat
poison.
And
what's notable about
bug
the building?
infested.
Probably the roach, mice, and rat infestation.
Even her TV was powdered.
Keep the roaches out because, yeah, they don't like the powder.
Delaney also has to keep all of her food in these containers. Speaking of food, welcome to Delaney's kitchen, which she shares with...
Technically, like 22 people share this kitchen.
22 people share the kitchen. And she pays $800 for that tiny room. Doesn't even have a kitchen. 22 people share. Like, this is why they call people slumlords. Kind of cute. Are we talking about me or Delaney?
I don't know. Somebody puts like trash in there.
Ew! Look at the fridge. Oh my! Look at the fridge. Somebody just put a pan. Can you see this? Somebody just put a pan in the bottom. This is like a whole turkey. It's like ice cube trays all over the place. This one's green. It's a green liquid in the ice cube tray. And look, there's like snow piled up everywhere. This is your fridge, $800 a month. You have to share it with 22 people. One dude, he just threw the pan. I'm finished. I'm so full. What do I do with this food here? I'll just throw the pan in the fridge. Bro, oh, you gotta put a camera in there and kill people for doing this. This is fucked.
Because that's why we have roaches. This is the garbage. Normally, it's like up to here because nobody cares to like empty it ever. No air conditioning in this building. So during the summer,
$800, 22 people share the fridge and the kitchen. No air conditioning, and you need to have bug powder all over the place.
that window, the light just like beams onto this and it gets all rotten.
The building has 2 bathrooms, which are also shared.
Oh my God, you have to share the bathroom with everybody too. This is absolutely next level disgusting. Okay, look at the grout. Imagine how much like piss is on the floor here. Imagine how much caked on piss is on the floor. Like, oh my goodness gracious. How much mold is like behind the tiles? Hold on a sec.
No air conditioning in this building. So during the summer, that window, the light just like beams onto this and it gets all rotten.
The building has 2 bathrooms, which are...
Look at the shower. Ew. Okay. Look at all the grime in the corner here. First of all, for sure, this grout was like white at one point in time. Look at imagine how filthy it is in there. Would you feel comfortable having a shower in this shower? Would you not feel like somebody was going to kill you? Is that a kitchen in the bathroom? What is that? Is it a vanity?
The building has 2 bathrooms, which are also shared, and which did not feel all that clean. Thank you to Delaney for allowing us to see how she lives. She is actually in school for fashion, and I love the jacket she made out of...
City of Toronto unpaid parking tickets that I acquired within about 8 months.
Oh, man. That's not a good thing to kind of admit on here. So she is a student living like complete shit, okay? And she is, the best thing she can do is make a coat.
So is this a ripoff, or should this entire building be condemned?
Is this a ripoff, everybody? Would you want to live here? Would you feel like you're being ripped off if you lived in Delaney's pad? I think it's a fucking travesty that humans have to live this way. Holy shit. I didn't realize how bad that was going to be. Now, I don't know. We called in. We talked the Super Bowl. We did the halftime shit. We did some conspiracy stuff. We got people's reactions. We figured out that the housing market is drowning. We got a Toronto ripoff here. Housing will never, ever be affordable. Okay. Now, are you guys sure that you don't want to talk about Trudeau and his friend Macron and Macron's wife? No? Not into the man-wife thing? Okay, that landlord's wild. You only have to clean the bathroom once every 11 weeks, though. Kitchen once every 22 weeks. That's reasonable. Move on, kiddo. Me? Sorry. Yes, it's a ripoff. If she showers, oh my God. Can you imagine like, honestly, just tell us. Give her, housing is going, okay, you guys, I don't know what you're talking about in there. Keep talking though. Keep that chat going. Thank you very much. Do you want to keep talking? I think I'm done. You're interested in the man thing? Okay, here we go, everybody. We're going off the rails. If you're here and you're here for real estate, this is not going to be about real estate at all. So, arrivederci. But if you're here to talk about Trudeau being gay, which there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you're here to talk about Macron, the French prime minister, president, being gay, okay? And being married to what I believe will turn into his father at some point in the story, but definitely a grooming male transvestite or trans woman. Are you into this? Because this is where the real juice is. I feel like you guys are into this now. Okay, I feel like we're on a roll here and we don't want this to end, and we're just willing to talk about anything with each other because we're just a big happy family now, all right? Here on the Frankfort Report, just talk shit for hours and hours and hours. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the real reason for all the 51st state stuff. How did I forget about this? It says it right here. The real reason they want Canada. And I didn't even talk about it for 1 second. How is that possible? Okay, so we're going to skip the gay stuff for now. And I don't know if we're going to have time for it. We're going to skip the trans stuff for now. Even though we really, 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 really want to get to that. And maybe it just won't be for today because it's already getting late. But, I mean, there's still a bunch of you here. I feel like my voice is okay. It'll probably explode soon. Okay. Dumb money, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You're just trying to get under my skin, you bastard. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay. Now, the real reason, okay, for all of this United States stuff, why do I have this here? This is the wrong video to bring up, okay? Thank God I checked this stuff first. Thank God I have an assistant who is fictitious. Why do I have this? This is not the right thing. This is the real reason. Here we go. Thank God. Okay. Do you remember this guy? Do we really want to go here, everybody? Do we really want to go here? Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to go here. So the real reason, my friends, for the potential invasion, for the potential annexation, the grammar police, I'm sorry. Did I screw something up? Okay, the real reason why everybody, and this is not just the US, I hate to break it to you people, but Canada is the prize. Canada is a prize that the rest of the world wants and needs for all of the reasons that have been mentioned in the chat by some of our friends, for all of the reasons that I have mentioned in the past, for all of the natural resources, including and not limited to agua, okay, water, except for the people. Basically everything here except for the humans is what, pardon me, everybody is looking for. But forget about all of that stuff, okay? Forget about all of that shit, because this is not what they are really after. It's part of what they're after. Water is a giant factor here because we have the most fresh water on the planet here, okay? But it's more than that. And it's more than Tim Hortons, which they already own, dumb money, okay? They already own Tim Hortons. They have it. It's theirs. Jesus Christ. Look what I got to put up with. This fucking dumb money guy thinks Steve Karish is the best. What is this crazy shit? Calls me Derry, bringing back trauma from when I was a kid. Derry. You son of a bitch. The real reason, okay? We're going to watch a video here that Charlotte sent me because this is what's going on, folks. This is what it's all about, okay? Why does it always have to goddamn skip forward on me?
Under threat. Here are the facts. In the fall of 2022, the Canadian military found and retrieved Chinese monitoring buoys in the Arctic. And last summer, a Canadian warship on an Arctic patrol encountered a Chinese polar vessel in the Bering Strait off Alaska. Despite its borders being 1,500 kilometers from the Arctic Circle, China now considers itself to be a, quote, near Arctic state. The Department of National Defense last year also noted, and I quote, Russia continues to modernize and build up its military presence in their Arctic, investing in new bases and infrastructure. It also possesses a robust Arctic naval presence with submarine surface combatants and an icebreaker fleet much larger than those of other Arctic powers.
Do you see what's going on here, folks? Do you see that big wasteland up at the top of the map there that we all think is just Northwest Territories, or I don't even know. What do we fucking call it up there these days? Is it still the Northwest Territories? I don't know what the hell that thing is called anymore. But when I was a kid, it was called the Northwest Territories. And it was just all this fucking snow, right? All this land, bunch of land up there that we thought was useless because 4 people lived up there, right? For some reason, this is the part of Canada that's way too cold to live in. And maybe that's true. I've never been there. I don't want to go there. Where I live right now in Toronto is way too cold for my liking. I would much prefer to live in the warmth. But do you see what's happening here, friends? Right? We've got trade routes up there, right? We've got a trade route that will reduce the amount of shipping time, okay, for lots and lots of shipping, okay, for strategic reasons. You saw, look, China, Russia. Can you read what's on this boat? Because I can't. I don't read Russian, right? So There's more going on than meets the eye here, okay? And Pierre has gotten wise to it, right? None of it, right? None of it. I don't know where none of it is, but I know it's a thing now. Wasn't a thing when I was a kid. There was no fucking none of it. No fucking none of it at all. If you don't remember and you don't know how and you didn't think about it, hit the like button. It's fun. It's fantastic. Okay, so we've got all this land up here that does nothing. Although, from what I gather, there's a shit ton of oil underneath that land. I don't know if we can get to it, but it's there. And God knows what's up there, okay? Because nobody goes up there, so we don't really know. And I don't want to get all conspiratorial again on this show, because we don't do that here, okay? But like this is what we're talking about. It's trading lanes, it's strategic land, because China and Russia are like, they almost touch this thing, right? If you looked at a proper map, not that globe thing, okay? We're going to go there now. We're not going flat Earth right now, but we're going flat Earth another time, because this is interesting. But for now, we're going to stay on Earth, okay? And this is the new Panama Canal. Exactly, Charlotte. This is the new Panama Canal on top of the new Ben Gurion Canal that they're building in Israel and in the Gaza Strip. Look at this. The trade routes are shifting, everybody. The trade routes are moving, right? And so why shouldn't we have a trade route right here? I mean, we have all of this stuff, so we should have the trade routes. But guess what? We control the trade routes. It's our fucking land up there. That's Canada, everyone. It's Canada. We're the superpower. We are the superpower. Okay? We have all the cards in our hands. We don't even know it because we just think it's a bunch of ice up there.
The Pentagon has also warned of potential Russian action in the Arctic, including jamming GPS satellites. Hostile powers want our resources, our shipping routes, and to be within striking distance of our continent. After 9 years of liberal incompetence,
striking distance of our continent,
and disdain, our military is weakened and our allies no longer respect us. Our safety, territory, and trade with the U.S. requires we take back control of Canada's north. This gigantic area of our country makes up 40% of our landmass and 75% of our coastline. 140,000 Canadians call it home, spread across 72 communities. Since time immemorial, Indigenous peoples have triumphed over the harsh climate.
I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the video because it's 6 minutes, so go check it out. It's worth watching if you want to understand what the fuck is going on with all of this stuff. Because Trump said it. We've got our own oil. We've got our own nickel. We've got our own palladium. We've got our own everything. We don't need Canada. We got our own lumber. We got all of that stuff. We don't need them. We're just subsidizing them. But it would be a good idea if you became part of the states. Okay. So we have, if you remember this guy, Steve Bannon, okay, who like him, don't like him, love him, hate him. This guy was the enemy of the state. And if you're like me, you think that any enemy of the state is got to be a decent guy.
This is about to become your softest underbelly. The north of Canada, that open border with whatever climate changes, but the beginning.
Open border. It's a fucking wide open border. Does anybody know what the hell's going on up there? Does anybody have a clue what's going on at the top of Yukon, at the north of Nunavut, at the top in those islands in the Northwest Territories? Like, what's going on up there? Should we not know this? But look at a map, okay?
The Northwest Passage, but more importantly, China and Russia, the great powers, and the United States, fighting it out over the Arctic.
Fighting it out over the Arctic.
The vast resources of the Arctic is going to be the new great game of the 21st century. Canada.
Look how lucky we got, guys, that we just ended up to being in Canada.
At the beginning of the Northwest Passage, but more importantly, China and Russia, the great powers, and the United States, fighting it out over the Arctic. With the vast resources of the Arctic is going to be the new great game of the 21st century. Canada you are thrust into the middle of that. And quite frankly, you are the greatest, I don't know if target or prize. You're like asking, you're the great prize of that.
You're the great target or prize. Everybody's got you as their target, okay? And so when they get you, they will get the prize. Now, we already have the prize. We don't know that we have the prize, and we didn't really do anything to make sure that we kept control of the prize. And so now Pierre Poilievre has made a video explaining to everybody how much of a prize it is and that we need to put money into defending it. And if we really realize how important this is, how big this is on a global scale, we will realize how serious President Trump really is and how in danger we could be soon or now. I mean, it doesn't take long to, and it doesn't have to go very far to launch things at us from there.
That as you awaken, and the geoeconomically, he's saying, hey, the United States market's so lucrative, you're going to have to pay a premium to get through the golden door, right? Canada could be all part of that. The geoeconomics of North America combined, and the geostrategic interest of North America combined, and particularly hemispheric defense, all the way from Argentina and Brazil under Bolsonaro, all the way up to the Canadian Arctic, is what the first half of the 21st century is going to be about. Trump is laying this out in a very sophisticated way, and avant-garde thinkers strategically and economically are coming and say, this guy's onto something. Listen, this is the golden market, right? You're going to pay a toll to get access to the United States. You're either going to have to shift your manufacturing.
So do you see? So the way that they're seeing things is that the United States is the superpower, and it's the golden goose for everybody. And it's where things are at, and it's where things are going to be. And if you jump on this thing, you're going to be part of it, and you're going to get all the benefits of it. But if you don't jump on this thing, we're going to take your shit from you. It's ours. Do you get it? It's going to be ours. One way or another, it's going to be somebody's. And so if you live here, you think maybe it already is somebody else's, right? Maybe it's China's already, or maybe it's India's, right? But I mean, we have been next door to the States for a long time, and we are pretty much the States. So that's that. I'm going to check chat before I go because I am exhausted. And I appreciate all of you that are here, all of you that have been here, all of you that will be here. I feel like that sounds kind of like a Kamala Harris speech. Okay. New Panama Canal, we're so huge. They figure this will be the canal by 2050. Okay. Well done, everybody. You didn't say anything. Our Navy only has 12 frigates. What's a frigate? What's a frigate? Devin, the drum master, who never answered if he was a good drummer. Good show, D-Man. Thank Rock the Casbah. I'm doing my best here, guys, which is, I know it's not good enough, but it's like, hopefully every show gets a little bit better. We get a little bit stronger as a family. Come on, guys, push me to 30 likes. Can you do that? Can you push me to 30 likes? Anybody here not liked it yet? Can you push me to 30 likes? Give me a little boost. A little boost. Rum pa pum. Okay, thank you. I've been spamming the Tom Story Show comments about your show, Derry. God damn it! Dumb bastard. God damn it. Clicked like. Thank you. Let's go, guys. One more. Oh, we beat 30. Thank you very much. Now, as a bonus for all of you that just helped me there, and I love you. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, which is, I think, here somewhere. Yep. Still there. All right. Do you want to talk about Trudeau being gay with Macron and Macron being gay with his male wife? Do we want this? or do we want to save this for another day? Fight, fight, fight. Okay. Guys, no. You already know that already. You don't want to talk about it. Yes, please, says Rose. Okay, well, Rose has been here since day one. Rose is a huge supporter of anything Frankfort, I feel. So for Rose and for anybody else, I think you just made the greatest Frankfort report ever. Thank you, Frankie Super Dude, my boy. I appreciate that. It's just about to get crazier, though. Here we go. Little bit of gay Trudeau time. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Team Frankfort is in the house, and it is strong, and it is powerful, and it will take down everybody out there in YouTube land at some point, I am certain. Okay, here we go. Ready? So, we're going to start our story off here, which I don't even know if this is a real thing. One moment, please. Let's make this bigger. Oh, no, let's not make this bigger, but let's share. I did not. This one. What are you talking about, dingus? Are you calling me a dingus? Frankfort, this is a great show. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate that. Spell something right, goddammit. Darryl's second profile. Frankie Super Dude. No, that's my son. That's Aiden. That's Frankie Super Dude. No, you dingus. I did not this one. I don't know what the hell that means, but here we go. Okay, ready? Again, it skipped forward. Canada and France. Okay, are you guys ready for this shit? Because I don't even know about this. Do you know about this? Canada and France have been partners in AI from the start. We believe in its potential and we want to see it developed responsibly. Glad to be at the AI Action Summit in Paris to continue that work with you, my friend. Okay, so he's talking about his gay lover, Macron, here. Now, while Canada is burning and under attack from everybody, it seems, but really on the surface, we know the States is really coming after us. Or pretending to, or not pretending to. But this bastard, who is not our prime minister and is our prime minister, but isn't our prime minister, is in France getting his game on with this guy. Oh, look how comfortable. Look how comfortable these two are putting their arms around each other. Did you see that? It's like very natural. Let's go. You wouldn't do this with Trump. Almost like they've done it before. They look like a handsome gay couple, don't they? You see how they're still, like, if it was me, if I was taking that picture with a buddy, okay, and I'm like, okay, when we turn around, I'm not holding him anymore, okay? I'm not touching him anymore. It's like, okay, we're done with that. Picture's over. Thank you very much. Stop touching me. But these guys, look at this. They're still, they're like tapping and rubbing, and you know what they really want to do. I don't know if I'm making that up or if I'm adding stuff to it, but I feel like that is just, I don't know. Look at these guys here. I mean, maybe this is just a French thing. Maybe this is just a French and a Canadian thing. I mean, they're both kind of French, right? He's a French Canadian and he's a French France guy. Maybe they're just super friendly. I don't know. What else do we got on here? Instead of going back and forth. Okay. I mean, is this a real picture? Is this a real picture? I don't know. With AI, it's hard to know. This is not real, but it looks pretty fucking real, eh? AI, I mean, this is nuts. It's pretty gay, though. I don't know what this is all about. This is weird. Just really weird. This is obviously their... Okay. So that's that. Okay. So nothing left there. So those guys are looking at AI together and cuddling. And I didn't even... Did you know that Canada and France were busy with AI together? I thought Canada was like a leading AI country. Okay. So do we want to look at this one next? Do you guys know who Candace Owens is? She's all over this Macron thing. Like, oh, I don't know where to start with this. Where do I start with this? There's so much shit to look at. Okay, here, check this out. We're going to go to Vincent Oshana. He's from the PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David podcast. In case you were wondering why the opening ceremony, okay, I don't know about this stuff, but look at this, okay? This is the guy's wife. Can I zoom in on this at all? Oh. No, it's not working. Oh, I fucked up my computer, though. That was good. Now what? Oh, great. It fucked up my computer. Okay. Anyways, look at this. This is not a woman's face. This is not a woman. This is just a weird-looking man in a wig. I'm sorry. Okay? I screwed up my computer, guys. I don't know how to make it smaller. Here we go. I did it. I am a genius. Genius-level stuff going on here, guys. You're witnessing genius-level stuff here. Okay, like, they're saying that she's really this dude. This little boy here. I don't know. Maybe. What else we got? Gremlin. Yikes. Come out of the closet. I had other stuff here. I don't know where it went. There's all kinds of shit. Candace Owens says she's a man for sure. Definitely a man. Brigitte is a man. And it is just crazy. And I don't know if it's real. But then you got other ones. Like, I think it is actually like, have you seen George Bush's wife? Look at this. This is Chuck Schumer's wife. Is this a woman? Like, I've seen some homely women in my time. Okay. That's a man, baby. You see? Oh, you can't see it over here. Too bad. It's covered. That's it. That didn't make any sense now. Okay, but okay. Obviously, this is a guy. Okay, can we agree on this, chat? This is a guy, and there's a lot of talk about. Okay, look at this guy back in the day.
Je fais cette petite vidéo pour essayer de vous remonter le moral. C'est quand même une dinguerie, tu vois. Mon monsieur. Prends ensuite tous les cheveux qui restent sur le côté droit.
Is this all him? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I do know that, like, there's all kinds of stuff on the internet that says, oh, here we go. No. Look at this face. That is the face of an ugly man. No. Now, let's look at, hold on a sec. Let me pull this up because I'm pretty sure George Bush, what was her name? Barbara Bush. Okay. Barbara Bush. Like, honestly, if this is not a man, okay, Barbara Bush, this is a homely looking woman. No? Is it me? Do I need a better shot here? Is there a shot where she looks like a man? No? I don't know. People say she's a man. Looks pretty manly here. Look at this. That's a man, right? Is this not a man? I don't know. Look at these two men yucking it up. That is a fucking man. No? Is this not a man? Come on. He look like a man. He look like a man. He look like a man. No? All right. Well, thank you for being here and patronizing me as I look at the crazy stuff and force it down your throats. You guys are a great group of people. I got through my whole list today. Holy Jesus. This was way too long. Thank you to Mark who called in. If you want to call in, now is the time. I will give one person a chance to call in now and ask me anything if they want. Affordable rentals, D-Man. What is that all about? She had something like 3 kids, Barbara Bush. Did she? Did she? Did she? No takers on the calling in? It was fun. It can be a whole thing. It could be fun. Anyone? Going once? Anyone? Going twice. Anyone? It is time to say arrivederci, my friends. Until next time.